As summer winds down and families gear up for school years ahead, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, buying school supplies, getting sports physicals, and choosing the perfect first day outfit. But my next guest says preparing for the emotional side of the transition is actually just as important. Educator and blogger Marcelle Waldman joins me now. Thank you and welcome back.
Thank you. It's so great to see you.
So good to see you. And you wrote a thoughtful post recently around kind of this emotional readiness as kids are getting ready to head back to school. So what are some of the biggest feelings you would say right now for kids and parents?
Well, I think we have a blend of a lot of feelings going on right now heading back to school. There's disappointment, maybe that our kids are heading back. Maybe we're loving the time together right now, or just kind of the lack of so much routine going on. Maybe there's some joy in that, but also there's nerves and there's overwhelm, especially when it comes to feeling like, you know, what's gonna be new, what's gonna be different, and just feeling those big things that are coming on, especially because we're pretty close to that time right now. So, and I think again, as parents, we are experiencing them ourselves along with our children, and it's okay to let them know that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And how can families kind of preview the school experience in a way that feels reassuring to prepare them instead of overwhelming kids before they go back to school?
Well, I think for parents, we are probably getting inundated with things like emails and things like that. Just read them and pick out the important things that you may want to go share with your child. Also, preview the website of the school or maybe the teachers. Maybe once you are assigned a teacher, you go preview their website and you take a drive, go on your route that you're going to take to school. Maybe there are opportunities for school tours. Some schools have those opportunities. If you've missed them, maybe you give a call to the front office and say, hey, is there another opportunity that we can come, tour the grounds, especially if it's a brand new school. Using social stories is a great way to do that. My daughter Stella and I wrote a book called Field Trip.
Aww.
Yes, so this is all about, a day at school and kind of those emotions that we might feel during the day. So using tools like stories and things to help us along the way with those conversations.
Loving the title on that one too.
Yes, thank you.
How can parents create a space for kids to really talk about their feelings without jumping in and going into fix-it mode? I do this a lot with my friends and family for sure.
Right. So, I've been on talking about before how when we go in and fix the things all the time, our children are not gaining that confidence and knowing like, I can do it. So it's really important that we ask questions, ask them, how are you feeling? And let them know that they've had opportunities in life to overcome setbacks. They've had opportunities and they have overcome things with whether they're nervous about something or it's something new to them. But being able to have those very non-judgmental times where you are listening, you are validating, even if your feelings might be different about the situation, they have their feelings, and it's important to let them know that you hear them and their feelings are valid. But again, using questions is a great way to really get them to realize, wow, I can and have overcome other setbacks, and I have that resilience.
Yeah, definitely.
That gives them a lot of self-confidence.
Curious, and that too is so important.
Yes.
And you always emphasize regular check-ins. So what are some of the open-ended questions that you're talking about?
So while we're starting school and we're getting things geared up and we're asking questions about how we might feel about things starting, we need to remember that we need to continue checking in, but asking things like, how is your day? Whether you have a 5-year-old or a 15-year-old, how is your day is kind of a closed question, and it doesn't really lead into the bigger conversations. So asking things like, what surprised you today? Or who were you kind to today? Or who was kind to you today? Or specifically, what did you read about? What did you write about? So really getting into it with your child or your teen about what actually is going on will give us such a better picture about what are they doing during the day, especially because nowadays a lot of what our children are doing might be on a computer and online. So we're not seeing so much paper come home. So it looks different than when many of us were attending school.
Yeah, and that's something to think about. And I love that because when you say, how are you you sometimes is just good and you want to get upstairs and go to your room as a teen. And so a little more of an open-ended question
And if you ask
door.
me, good is not a feeling. So
give me a little something more.
Yes. So
lastly, too, any advice for working with a new teacher?
Yes. Well, having been a classroom teacher, I can tell you the beginning of the school year is really a time for us to connect with our students, get them to connect with one another, creating the rapport and the trust of what is ahead for the school year. So one thing you can do, I would say, is let your teachers settle in, let them really get to know the students for who they are. With that, a caveat would be if there's something that's really vital and important that a teacher knows about your child, you can always find their email. That is a great way to kind of let them know something that you feel is really important for them to know before the school year begins, or even on that first day, letting them know something. It's not, don't grab your teacher on the first day and try to share something that's big or, very private maybe that you need to share. Share it through a letter or an email ahead of time so that the teacher can have a grasp on that before your child walks into their care. But give them time to settle in and just enjoy getting to know one another.
That makes perfect sense. And the first day, grabbing a teacher when they're already also so busy, maybe not the best time to do that.
It is not.
So where can people find your blog and all these tools?
Yeah, so myfeellinks.com is where you can find the blog, and there's blog and a lot of free resources on there. And the tools you can find on the website as well. And I just wish everyone a great start to the school year.
Definitely.
And getting our kids ready emotionally and set to go.
Love it. Thank you for being here.